What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com. And in the last Dynasty video, we took on Florida Atlantic and ended up getting beat 56-7. Just an absolute terrible game. Same song, different verse. We keep getting our brains beat in every game. So what I've decided to do is to simulate the rest of the season. I talked about that briefly in the previous video and had a couple other people suggest the same thing. And I think it's a good idea. It saves us plenty of time from not having to watch blowouts every single game. So today we're going to do the off-season video. Now before we head to the off-season, I want to show you a few different things. First of all, you notice here I have already simulated the season. We went 1-11. Somehow the game gave us a victory. So the first thing we're going to look at is the schedule. And it looks like they gave us the Arkansas State win. I want to check this out. Looks like Lovelady had a really big game, 36 for 49, 420 yards, and 6 touchdowns. The air raid was flying high that day. So we got one win, but according to that record, we lost the rest of them. So 1-11, I guess that's considered realistic for the expectations of the program so far, but I'm very thankful that the game just gave us one win. Now let's go to recruiting. And let's talk about a couple of things. Now, during the simulation process, I went every week and I made sure I recruited like I'm supposed to. And I've done the same thing with discipline, which we'll check out here in a little bit. But as you can see, we ended up getting 2 commitments. We'll start off with Alex Johnson, the halfback. So excited to have him. That's another playmaker for us. He will start day one unless we somehow look out and get a couple of halfbacks that are better. I doubt that'll happen. But this guy fits what we want. He's fast. He's got some good hands. And a halfback in this offense is so important for us. So I'm very excited about this kid. The other commitment we got was Bobby Lewis, the strong safety out of Louisiana. This is another big pickup for us because strong safety is super important in our 3-3-5 defense. So we're very excited to get both of these guys. Remember those 2 players, Alex Johnson and Bobby Lewis. They're the first 2 to commit in this dynasty. Now let's talk about the other 2 players we were going after, just a bit of a history. Chris Roberson, I tried my best, but he kept going down, or we kept going down his list. Once our halfback, Alex Johnson, committed halfway through the season, I'm like, great, we could put those points on the other 3 players. But it wasn't enough to get him, nor the quarterback, and this guy's going to Tennessee. I'm not overly upset about this one. Yes, I'd love to have him because quarterback is like our most important position, but I think we're going to be kind of okay there because we should be able to attract some quarterbacks. Either way, I'm just very thankful we got 2 commitments in the fold. That's a good start to the recruiting class. The last thing I want to look at is the program standards, our discipline issue, and it is an issue. As you see here, the team interest bar is a little higher than what I wanted. I wanted all the way down here. What happened was I added, there ended up being 1 player that got in trouble throughout the second half of the season. Unfortunately, he got in trouble the last game of the season. It would be great if he got in trouble halfway through and I could have suspended him for a bunch of games. Because as you can see here, I had a bunch of points left over. And I guarantee you we're not going to have that many points to use next offseason. But we got to prioritize this a little bit. Because the last thing we need is to get in trouble and lose scholarships. And then it may be just too hard to handle from that point. But we'll worry about that if that happens. Now, before we head to the offseason, as you can see, the Oklahoma Sooners are your national champions. I am not going to go through Sports Illustrated. That's not going to affect us any whatsoever. So let's just head into the play week and let's go into the offseason. Let's start off with school budgets. This is the first thing you do in the offseason, and I've already set up my percentages. I have recruiting at 80%, training at 0, because what's the point of training all these kids that are like in the 40s and 50s? It's not worth it. And discipline at 20. Our bar is high. I would love to raise this even higher, but we all know recruiting is so important for us. Now, I'm just going to take a guess. 80% recruiting and only 1 win, we may end up with like 25 points to play with. And I'm serious when I say that. All those who remember my Yale Dynasty, that first season, I think we had, 17 points to play with? So it's going to be quite interesting to see how I'm able to bring up some commitments, but we're going to try our best. Here we are at the players leaving screen. There's nothing shocking here. All of the seniors are leaving. We didn't have anybody leave or transfer out. So nothing too surprising. I think there are 18 players here. No offense to you all, but I hope I can replace you all with much better talent. Again, no offense to you. I hope you do great things after graduation. So let's move on to the next step. And here we are at the incoming transfer screen. Now look at this. We got 5 players that are willing to come here. You better believe it, we're taking all 5. But we're going to look at every one of these, and then we're going to talk about something afterwards. Let's start off with Matt Flynn. I assume, yes, that is the Matt Flynn. I think they won a national championship his senior year at LSU. He wants to transfer. You better believe it. He is going to come here. Now, he's a redshirt junior. We're only going to have 1 year with him. But he will just be an amazing player for us, for sure. Next up, Tyrell Gatewood out of Texas. Wide receiver. We'll take him any day of the week. You better believe it. And he is a junior, so we're only going to get like 1 year out of him, and he's already redshirted. Then you got a redshirt sophomore, Chris Smith, a defensive end, and he's pretty big, so that's kind of what we're looking for in a defensive end. So I'm very happy to have him. Then we got Brian Wilson, a cornerback. Love to have him. 91 speed, 6'2", 190. Really fits what I like in a quarterback. And last but not least, a free safety, Darian Williams, 78 overall with 85 speed. He will start day 1. Now, before we head into the next part of the offseason, yes, I can go into the DB editor and fix this to where all 5 of these guys can play automatically next year. I don't know if that's considered cheating or not. I almost don't want to do that because, I mean, I'll probably get flogged for it. But, again, this is 2022 now where all these guys, if they play today, they would all be playing for us next year, no doubt about it. So I could go in there and change that, but I'm hesitant to do so. I don't know how that will get received. But we can still treat this like this is 2005 to where we can have them all set out 1 year. And that'll just be the end of it. So you can put in the comments what you think I should do here. But you better believe it, every single one of these we are going to accept. You got to. Too much talent across the board. And to be honest, this is the most amount of transfers I've seen come to a school in all my years of playing 06. I've never had 5. I've had up to 3, I think. But seeing 5 right here just warms my soul, just to say the least. Here we are at Recruiting Central. Let's recruit some players. Now let's look at our map. We got Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. The only other pipeline I would love to create, and that is Tennessee. Louisiana is a new pipeline. I think getting Bobby Lewis, the strong safety, help officially make that a pipeline, so that's going to help. But I'm going to keep it super local because that's cheaper on the points in terms of recruiting players. So the first thing we want to do is I want to go to interested prospects. Well, no, first thing, I actually want to go to team overview. I did not even keep notes of what I need to get because we need everything. Now, yes, we got a bunch of new guys coming in, and I may play them next year. We'll figure that out later. But we need help everywhere. So I'm not too worried about, hey, do we got too much talent here? Because technically we don't. But I just wanted you to be aware of this because as you notice, a ton of orange. We need help all over the place. Now, it says we got certain positions that don't matter a whole lot to us, like tight end and fullback. And that's honestly, that's about it. But the rest of them, I'm going to get whatever I can find. So let's recruit a little bit. The first thing I want to do is go to interested prospects. And we got a bunch of 2-star kids that are interested in us and some 1-stars. I don't know how many 2-star. Look at all these 2-stars. There's a good chance I'll just stick going after 2-stars if it works out. So let's talk about the 2-stars. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to pick an Arkansas kid. A lot of Texas, Louisiana. Okay, this kid right here, Stephen Pauly. Now, here's the problem. I got 23 total points to use this week. That is the max you're going to see any of the rest of the recruiting cycle. Next week, it'll probably go down to 21 and then 18. It never stays at 23. So that is a problem. That means that we do not scout whatsoever in this situation. I've talked about this a couple times in older blog posts regarding how to handle FCS schools and such. You don't have enough points to scout. So you just got to take a chance on a lot of these kids and do nothing but offer scholarships. So that's what we're going to do. So we pick this Arkansas kid, and the cheapest we can offer a scholarship is 1 point. We do the bare minimum just to get him noticed, that type of thing, is 1 point for in-state. If you go to another team or another state like Louisiana, it's a border state and it's a pipeline state, and you select here, it's 2 points. I'm pretty sure Texas is the same way. We go to Texas, and again, yes, 2 points. Then we get Tennessee is probably the same thing. I think all border states probably go down to 2 points. So what does that mean? We have, if you go back here, we have 18 spots to fill. 18 scholarships technically. We got 30 players as of now. Of course, you add those extra 5 guys, and that gets up to 35. But then you got these 18 spots. That's the goal. Can we get 18 guys? Well, if you do the math, and you got 23 points, and you're trying to offer 18 scholarships, that pretty much means half of our scholarships are going to go to Arkansas kids. The other half is going to go to Texas and Louisiana and some Missouri kids. It is what it is, but we're going to try our best to do that. So what I'm going to do is, again, you notice we got a bunch of 2-stars. I'm going to go after them first. Yes, I'll probably get told you need to go after a ton of 1-stars, but I think we got a really good chance, a lot of 2-stars. So I want to take a chance first here and see how that goes. I'm going to leave the 1-star stuff to like the last 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll go from there. We're going to start off position by position. I am going to really take chances on athletes. I've had plenty of 2-star kids in the past. For those of you who've watched all of my dynasties, you can get really lucky with some of these 2-star kids. I think it's at least worth it going after some of them. For example, let's look at this athlete from Texas, Corey Respis. 4.48 B+ hands. I have no clue what he can do. He may be a wide receiver from the looks of it. I'm going to take a chance. We need guys like this. So we're going to do that. And since we're going after nothing but 2-stars and below, I am going to stick with the location pitch out of the gate. For all those who've seen my dynasties, location for 3-star kids, or especially 2-stars and below, location works really well. So we're going to go location. So we're going after that guy. Let's go after this kid, Isaac Conant. 4.56, he's got A+ hands. He looks like an ideal halfback. Maybe not the fastest in the world, but I'd still love to have him. Who knows what he could play. We're going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him. We got a Texas kid and a Missouri kid. I actually don't mind going after all 4, but what we can do is, I'm already about to run out of some points, but I'm going to go ahead and take a chance on this kid right here and this Missouri kid. 4.37, 6'3", 214. He probably is a defensive player, like a secondary guy. So we're going to do that. Now the next thing I want to do is, if you notice, we're down to 15 points already. None of these guys are Arkansas kids. So let's go and find some Arkansas kids, and then we can swing back to whatever remaining points we have, which probably won't be any. So here we go. We don't have any single quarterback interested in us. That's okay. We got Lovelady coming back, and Matt Flynn. If I actually have him play next year, we're going to be fine there. So this doesn't worry me too much. I think it's because the quarterback room's too full. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. Halfback. I don't see any 2-star kid from Arkansas, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that for now. Again, I want to look at the 2-stars first, and there are a ton of them. Fullback, we don't have to worry. Wide receiver, you see all these 2-stars here. Here is an Arkansas kid. Let's go ahead and just put points on him. We'll go location, and I may have already messed up the location from earlier. We're going to check the pitches here in a little bit later before we move on to the next week. We have no clue. When you don't scout, you don't know if this is accurate or not. More than likely, some of this isn't. So that's the chance you take. The rest of these aren't Arkansas kids, so let's keep going. Tackle. There's a bunch of these 2-star kids. Look at all these. Let's pick out a couple Arkansas kids for now. 6'6", 300-pound Michael Wynn. Let's just go ahead and do that. Do location. There's another Arkansas kid right here. I want 2 tackles. I'm all for that because that's a starter. Let's go location here. Guard. 2-star Arkansas kid, 6'1", 279. That's fine. We'll put one on him. Center. We need 2. We really need somebody here. We got Texas, a bunch of Texas, and more Texas and Louisiana. Let's pick one and just take a chance. Like, here's a couple. Missouri. Let's pick. I'm not a big fan of going after the JUCO kids for this scenario. I don't know if it's worth it. I'd rather take a chance on this kid, so let's do that. We're already down to 9 points. We're getting really thin. The rest of it's all defense. Defensive end, I got to find somebody that really fits what we're doing. Perfect example, this kid right here. 6'5", 294 pounds. That's an ideal defensive end for our defense. So let's go here. We'll do location. I'm going to just do one defensive end for now. Defensive tackle, we're kind of okay there, aren't we? No, we need at least a couple more. Here's a Tennessee and a Texas. We need some size here. Let's go after this Texas kid. And I'm already down to 6 points. Outside linebacker, Missouri, Mississippi. Let's look at middle linebacker, Texas. Corners, we got an Arkansas kid right here. I don't mind going after him. That's the kid we looked at earlier. We're down to 5 points. I'm not even looking at their stats or their attributes. What's the point? Well, we just need bodies, warm bodies. Here's a kid out of Oklahoma, free safety. I'm not going to bother there. Another strong safety I wouldn't mind going after. Arkansas one-star kid. I don't mind doing that. Another, again, we need a lot of bodies here at strong safety. So now we're down to 4 points. I can go after one more out-of-state player and like 3 more in-state guys, or I can do 2 out-of-staters. Or one out-of-state, 2 in-state, something like that. Strong safety, I'm going to take a chance on this kid as well. This is our most important position. Location on defense, I should say. So we are going after targets. Free safety, we couldn't find anybody. Let's go after a linebacker. Texas, outside linebacker. Let's just look at Missouri. I probably need to keep that as a pipeline still. JUCO. Let's go to middle linebacker instead. 3 Texas kids, 4.35. Wow. 4.69. Again, we don't know if that's accurate or not, but I wouldn't mind taking a chance. It doesn't really matter which one we go after. Let's just pick one. And I don't mind doing something like this. I think we're okay with that. So we got only 3 scholarships left. That's going to change a whole lot. There's going to be some players that are going to go commit elsewhere. We could put those scholarships on other people. Okay, so we are done with week 1, but we're going to go to current targets first and make sure I done my location pitch correctly. I think I missed a couple. I could be wrong, but it doesn't hurt to check. I got location on them so far. Location. And I don't know what we're going to do if once some of these guys actually like the pitch, we're going to have to increase our numbers or our points on a lot of them. But looks like it's all nothing but location, so I think we are good to go for week 2. So let's go ahead into the next week. As expected, there are no commitments in week 1, or hardly ever is. So let's go to our current targets and see what we're dealing with. I'm seeing a lot of up arrows, which is good. We can keep going. Looks like everything went pretty well on that first run. So let's see what we got going here. Middle linebacker, Greg Waller. We can check. He loves the location. Boom. There you go. Let's go ahead and go after him. I'm going to do the minimum for now. We got no choice. Now you notice, look, now we're just down to 16 points. I got no choice but to do the bare minimum here. I have to. Next up, strong safety, Seth Parsons. He didn't like what he saw there, but we can still take a chance on him. But I got to put points on him somehow, so let's just wait on him for now. Location, we got to go after this cornerback. That worked out, him being an in-state kid. Defensive end, I'd love to have this one, so I'm going to hold on that one for now. Location, here you go. Tackle, out of Arkansas. We got to do the bare minimum. We got to take a chance on this defensive tackle. We got to do 2 points here. Location, we got to put points on that guy. And next up we have, don't know about this one, the athlete. No positive pitch there. We got a positive pitch here, so we got to put something there. Another positive pitch. And so what I'm thinking about doing, we're down to 6 points. See, another, we got to do something like that. I don't know if any of these guys will commit by doing this, though. We'll see. The problem is I'm down to 5 points, and I want to check out the week 2 guys. So let's see what happens. Let's keep going. Here's another one. Positive pitch. Okay, so we're down like to 4 points. I want to go to all prospects and see what happens when I go and look at guys who did not, we weren't in their top 5, but we can check to see if they got upset that we didn't look at them in the first week. So I actually want to go to in-state prospects. For example, 3-star kid, 3-star wide receiver. I'm going to put a scholarship on him, actually. And we're going to do location. And if he puts us in his top 5, that's great. You can either do this or the scout. Of course, we can't do scouting. Here's a 2-star outside linebacker. Let's just go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Now, you notice I'm running out of points for the other guys we didn't even have spots for. Here's a guard, 6'4", 308. Defensive end, that guy's way too small. Here's a strong safety. Cornerback, and we're down to the 1-star kids. Let's go up to that guard. Definitely wouldn't mind having him. We need help at offensive line for sure. We're going to do one here. We're going to do location. And now we're down to 1 point. So again, you go back to the current targets. And the problem is, if you go to like this outside linebacker, no, that's not him. Which one is it? I don't think we have it. A good example is this right here, for example. Yes. I got to put points on somebody just to keep him interested. So I think I'm going to go ahead. Who do I put it on? I can't put any more points on anybody else. So let's go. Greg Walker. I can't put it on him. We probably need to go ahead and put it on that defensive end. Let's just go ahead and do that. I'm okay with that because he really fits what I want out of a defensive end. So let's go ahead and do one there. So now we're down to 0 points. That's it. But we're going to pick a different... let's go playing time, maybe? He may care for that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll go playing time and see if he likes that or not. So that is it. Unfortunately, some of these other guys we couldn't even put points on. For example, this kid right here, and that's not a good example. That's not a good example. This is a good example. I can't put any points on him. I just didn't have enough time or enough points to do so. So hopefully some of these guys we did get positive pitches will commit. I'm afraid it's not going to happen because we didn't put enough points on him to get him excited, but we'll see. So let's head on to the next week. And just like that, we picked up some 2-star kids, a center, a defensive tackle, and a cornerback. That's good. All these guys, we barely put 1 point into them, and we got them to commit. So that's promising. So let's head back to current targets. Let me go and take out any player that committed elsewhere, like this middle linebacker. We can get rid of him. Is that it? I think that is it. So let's go back to the very top and see what we got. So Jonathan Jean, I don't even remember if he was one of the 2-star or one of the week 2 guys. I think he is. But he didn't like our location. We got 1 scholarship left, so I'm going to hold off on him for now. That didn't look good. Ooh, I actually done program prestige for that guy, didn't I? Man, that was my fault. So let's do location for him. That may help out a little bit better. I wasn't paying attention there. Right now, I'm looking for positive pitches. Again, let's do a positive pitch here. We need a positive pitch. I'm going to do 2 points here. And I'm going to see how many points I got left after that. We're going to do 1 for now. 1 here. And I think what I may end up doing is doing extra points just for those players. And we're going to show that. So now we're just down to 6 points, which isn't a whole lot. So let's go back up to the very top. And let's find those positive guys again. I just had to see how many points I had left over. We got 1 scholarship left. I can wait till week 4 to do that. I want to go, let's do 2 points for this guy. Let's do 2 points for him. Let's see if that helps. Let's do, I'm not going to do 4. That's too much. My bad. We got to get commitment so we can get these guys out of the way. Let's do 2 points here. We're going to do 2 points here. We're down to 2 points. Let's do 2 points here. We're going to go, we can't do anything there, and that is it. So now what we got to do is put some points on somebody else. Let's go ahead and try. He didn't like the location. I still want to give a chance on this guy. We're going to do, we'll do playing time, I guess, for him maybe. Let's see if he does that. So now we're down to, again, 0 points. Super quick. There's just not a whole lot we can do. We just need to get some more commitment. So let's head on to the next week. So we picked up a couple more commitments. We got a guard and a tackle. In-state kids. Whatever it takes, we need them. I'm sure all of these kids are going to be starting for us next year. So let's go back to the current targets and see what we're dealing with. So here's this wide receiver, 3-star. I don't know if we can afford to keep going after him. So I'm going to withdraw that offer. I'd love to go after him. I just don't think we can. We don't have enough points. Let's go here. Strong safety. He still doesn't know what he's interested in. Let's just keep moving for now. I got to find a positive pitch. Like this athlete we got to get. Here's another guy, guard. Here's a location guy, tackle. I think we'll keep going after these same guys. Do something like that. And now we got how many scholarships left? We got 2 scholarships left. I want to use them on some 1-star kids. So let's try that. Unless we can find a 2-star kid that we had a chance at or something. I'm not really sure. So I actually want to spend those on more in-state kids. No, I'll tell you what. I think we need to take our chance on this kid right here. And let's just go ahead and do that. Let's do coach style. Let's just go ahead and take a chance on him again. This is the 3-star kid. If we have any type of chance, we need to at least attempt it. Okay, so that's 1. We got 1 scholarship left. So let's go to state prospects. Here's a defensive end that didn't like let's strong safety. We already looked at some of these before. Cornerback, a 5'11", or we're kind of okay at cornerback. I think we are. I mean, for our, sake. Now, here's a wide receiver. He didn't like that we didn't go after him before, so let's go ahead and just put one on him. We got to do something. We need more bodies at wide receiver, too. So let's just go ahead and do that. So now you go back to current targets. We are down to 3 points. So we're going to use those 3 points on guys who have a positive pitch, but we just need to get them to commit. Let's see if we can find them. Defensive end. I hate that we can't put points on these guys. Like, I could take points off of this guy and put it, like, here. Like, we can try that, but 4 points is too much for me. I think it's too much. I'd rather do something like that because we need to put these points elsewhere. Let's do 2 points here. I'm okay with that. Another guard. Here's another tackle. Now, in terms of, I don't mind doing that. Now we're down to 1 point, so let's go back to the very top, and we'll put it on a guy who, like this kid right here, the outside linebacker. We'll do like coaching style. And there we go. We're down to 0 points, so let's head on to the next week. It goes by real quickly when you don't have any points to play with. There he is, the wide receiver, 3-star kid, Jonathan Jean. Huge pickup for us. I'm glad we just done the 2 points. It worked out, and we didn't even know what he liked. So this is week 5. We're already here at the end of recruiting, so we got to figure out how to handle the rest of this. Let's go back to current targets, and I'm going to take out anybody that didn't like us. So here's this outside linebacker we tried to go after. It just wasn't enough. He went to the big school. Wide receiver, Adam Collier. I think that was the 1-star kid, and here's a strong safety. He's down. So now we got how many scholarships left? Let me see here. We have, let me check here. We got 3 spots left. We need to put them on somebody. Let's go after some 1-star kids just to fill some needs, just some bodies. So let's go back to state prospects. And can we find any 1-star kids we got a chance at? I really think we do. Tackle, I think we got 2. We got 1 going after. We probably need I think we're okay there. Corner, we're fine. Outside linebacker, I feel like we need some help here. Maybe, maybe not. Here's a corner. 5'11", 164. That's it for the 1-star kids. We may do 1 in-state guy. And then I kind of want some athletes of some sort. Somebody who can do some things for me. We got 3 guys there. Now let's go after this tackle. He's a JUCO, but we got to. Let's just go ahead and do that. He may commit. He may not. And the outside linebacker, I think we're kind of okay with the rest of those. So we're going to do. We got 2 more scholarships left, so I actually have no choice but to go after one of these guys. 5'11", 164, and 6 feet, 164. Let's just go after this guy. Let's do location, and now that means we should have 1 scholarship left. But we can't put points on him. Do we got the points? Yes, we got 7 points. Let's go after another 2-star player, or maybe a 1-star. Let's go down to the 1-star. We may have a chance there. Let me look and see what else I got. We probably need another halfback. So I probably need to take a chance on one of these guys. 4.52. Oh, which one do you go after? Let's go after this guy. He may have better hands. This guy's much faster. Let's do 2 points on this guy. We're going to do location, and we'll see if that works out. It probably won't, but you never know. So now we're down to 5 points. So here's a halfback that we actually went down his list. So we're not going to even bother with him. I'm going to withdraw that offer. And that gives us some points. Then he got strong safety. Nope, we're not going to bother. Athlete. Can we go after? I'm going to put 4 points on him. We got to get that guy. Nope. We got to take a chance on that. And we're going to do 1 point there. And that's it. We kind of can't do anything else. The rest of those guys, like here's a wide receiver we've already put points on. Technically, we haven't. We had a positive pitch there, too. Let's go back. I hope I've done this correctly. I'm going to take it off that. No, he's a 2-star guy. We got to. We got to do that, don't we? Let's go. We're down to 0 points. Let's go back to this athlete. Oh, I guess we're done. Let me try one more thing. If I do that. No, I don't want to do that. I guess we got no choice. I guess we're done. We got 1 scholarship left. That's not that big of a deal. So we're going to put location on him and hope for the best. All right, so let's end this recruiting and see what our recruiting class is going to look like. So we looked out. The athlete finally committed, and we picked up more offensive linemen. I'll take as many as we can. A bunch of 2-star kids. Good deal. So let's look at our recruiting class. Let's go to signings. Athlete, we got 3 of them. Awesome. Who knows where these guys are going to end up? Dustin Allen out of Missouri, Isaac Conant out of Texas, and Brandon Edwards out of Texas. I can't wait to see where these guys may end up. Quarterback, we couldn't find anybody. I think we're going to be okay, though. We may find somebody in the end season next year. Halfback, this was our first pickup, Alex Johnson. We're really excited to have him. Nobody a fullback, which is fine. We only got one wide receiver, but he's a good one. Maybe our best player overall in the recruiting class, wide receiver Jonathan Jean. Then you got tackles. We got two of them. Both of these guys are day one starters, for sure. In-state guys, for sure. Then you got guards. Two in-state guys. Great. We're going to have a full Arkansas lineup up on the line. A center out of Missouri, day one starter. Then you got defensive end. We got the one guy I really wanted. He really fits the scheme well. We got one defensive tackle. Excited for him. Then we got no linebackers. That's a bit worrisome. Cornerback, we got a two-star kid. And we got one strong safety, Bobby Lewis, from the end season. So a great look at recruiting class. How many total did we get? 3. They got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 plus the 5 guys we picked up in the transfer portal, more or less. And that's actually a pretty decent recruiting class. So we can check out the top classes really quickly. Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, Georgia. Depending on how successful this dynasty goes, we'll end up either in the Big 12 or the SEC. So it's cool to see both of these conferences doing some serious damage in recruiting. All right, we're going to finalize recruiting and head to the next step. Here we have position changes. This is where things get really interesting. Starting off at quarterback, there's Matt Flynn, the transfer. Again, I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the transfers in another video or two down the road. We don't have to decide that now. Then you got Lovelady. Then we got a couple of scrubs behind those two guys. Halfback, Alex Johnson. There he is, 70 overall, and here's a redshirt senior. What's going to happen is unless I move one of those athletes to halfback, we'll probably end up with a walk-on. That's worrisome. I don't know if I can go back and look. I can't look at the team overview. Fullback, we don't have anybody here, but I don't care if the game puts a walk-on here. We don't use them. Wide receiver, Jeremy Matthews, Tyrell Gatewood, the transfer, and there's Jonathan Jean. Starter out of the gate. He doesn't have a whole lot of speed, but a whole lot better than what these other guys have for sure. Then we got just a bunch of guys who came back from last year. Tight end, don't have to worry about this position too much. We don't use him hardly at all. Tackle, what I'll probably end up doing, here's a senior, here's the true freshman and another freshman. We're going to put this guy left, right. Let's put this guy right. Then we got left, right. I'm okay with all that. That's fine. So that looks pretty good there. That way, Hopkins, we actually got somebody who's going to beat out one of the freshmen. But that's a good pickups right there. I'm all for that. Guard, and we're going to look at the players a little bit closely later on, like Alex Johnson. I didn't even look at him too hard. We got some guards here, a true freshman. We are going to put one guy at right. It doesn't really matter how we do that. We're going to leave all of that as is. Center. We got one center. They'll probably put a walk-on here, unfortunately, unless I can move a guard over, and I can probably do that. We can do something like that. That way we don't have a walk-on. Problem with walk-ons, you can't cut them. We have defensive ends. We got 4 of them, so technically we're under the bar. We don't have to worry about getting cut or getting forced walk-ons in this spot. So we got left end, a right. I'm going to put it. Yes, I know. Well, I want to put him at right end. We're going to do something like that. I want my best defensive end at left end. It always works out the way. Of course, he's a transfer. Ooh, didn't think about that. Let's go ahead and put him at right. Well, it doesn't really matter. I can move them around later. No big deal. Okay, defensive tackle. We only got 2. We need one more. We need to put somebody over there. I think they're going to force a walk-on. There's nothing I could do about that, though. Linebackers the same way. I think the minimum is at 3. So I think we may be okay here, but it's still a bad situation. We didn't pick up anybody. Same at middle linebacker. This is worrisome right here. But we'll see what those athletes can do later. Corner, we can probably move somebody over. Like, I wonder. Now, this what makes no sense. We run a 3-3-5. Yet it says the minimum corners we need is 5. You will put below the minimum roster for requirement at quarterback. That doesn't make sense. That's a glitch. 3-3-5, you only need like 4 max. And it's saying we need a minimum of 5. That is a glitch of some sort. If that's the case, I won't be running 3-3-5. That's goofy. I don't like that at all. Okay, I'm going to just leave everybody as is then. Free safety. We'll probably have one of those athletes get moved over, unfortunately. They force him there. But we got the transfer, but he ain't going to get the play. So we got no choice but to probably move one of those athletes. And here's a true freshman, Bobby Lewis, 68 overall. He's a starter, and we got a kicker, and we got a punter. So let's look at these 3 athletes, and then we can circle back around. Isaac Conant, what can he play? Can he do anything? He's a wide receiver at 65. He can't play a lick on defense. Like, he's by far much better at wide receiver. How good is he as a catcher? Can he catch? 74 catch. I feel like I got no choice. His best position by far is a wide receiver. Unless I'm missing something, like I'd love to play him at free safety, but I think we're wasting potential there. We need as much help on offense as we do on defense. I'm going to go ahead and put him wide receiver. Got no choice there on that one. Brandon Edwards. Let's see what he can do. 65 at halfback, 62 at full, 62 at wide receiver, 68 at tight end, which is interesting, but I'm not going to put him there. Please play some defense. He can play defensive end, which makes no sense because he's small. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he's only 6'5", 202. Keep going here. Yes, he could play in the secondary. We're going to put him somewhere. So where can we put him? We could play him either a corner, free safety, or strong safety. I'm probably going to have to be free safety more than likely. Bobby, yeah, we're going to probably put him at free safety unless that other athlete can play there as well. So we're going to put him at free safety. I think that's a good spot for him. Next up, we got Dustin Allen. What can he play? Halfback at 62, fullback at 78. What's his speed? 84. Can he catch? 65, which isn't terrible for a fullback, but that doesn't really fit what we want. Tight end, 76, which is incredible. How big is he? 6'3", 214. I could probably do some sub-package type stuff and get him in there. Let's see what else he can do. I kind of hope he can play linebacker. Looks like he can't. 48, 56. He can't play any defense whatsoever. None. So he is pure offensive guy. So I can either put him at tight end or wide receiver at 62, fullback at 78, or tight end at 76. That's a good, I don't know. What's best for me? Probably a tight end so we can do a sub package. That's kind of my thinking. So I think I may keep him at tight end. Like fullback, I just don't know if it's worth it. That's just a tough decision. Getting another guy in the backfield could be helpful. 78. Oh, I don't know. That's just really tough to decide. If I put him there, that means I need to go back and put the fullback spot at a two-back slot, because that's the only time I play a fullback. Or I can have him play like in two formations, in trips and in gun spread. Because you look at our wide receivers, 80, 76, 72, 65. I'm actually okay if he doesn't play tight end. So I'm actually thinking about having him playing some fullback. Oh, that's a tough decision. I don't know. 62, 78, 76. It's going to be fullback or tight end. I will probably, forgive me for not making a decision sooner. I have no choice but to put him. I'm trying to think where it matters the most. I think I can also do a sub package here, fullback at the halfback position if needed. Because his speed is just as good as the rest of these. Let me look at the halfbacks. Like you look at Johnson's at 90 speed, and he got 72. Oh my gosh, that's just a really tough decision. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put him, I think, at tight end. That way I got more flexibility sub-package wise. I think we're going to be fine at halfback. Let me look here. No, we got to put him at halfback. We only got two guys. I do not need a walk-on here. I'd rather have a walk-on at fullback. We got plenty of tight ends. So that answers my question. We're going to put him at... Oh, I can't do that. I got to do it at a fullback, don't I? I got to do it at fullback. I got no choice. I can't put him at halfback. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry for not making up my mind quicker. I got to do a fullback or tight end. We're going to do a tight end. We're going to do a tight end. And then you go over to the tight end spot. I'm going to put... oh, gosh. That's awful. Oh, what do we do? 70... I don't think it really matters, does it? Again, forgive me for not coming up with something here. 6'3", 214. Let's just go ahead and put him at fullback. I think I can make do with that. No, we'll leave him at tight end. It's just easier for me. I'm so sorry. Again, we'll put him at tight end. I don't think it matters either way. We're going to get him on the field one way or the other. All right, so we are done with our athletes. We got a pretty good group there. A tight end, a wide receiver, and a free safety. We will make use of that tight end, no doubt. That way I don't have to deal with trying to put a fullback in. I got better chances to put a tight end in those 3 formations than I do a fullback. So I'm good with that. All right, let's head on to the next step. And as you can see, nobody went up in training. Makes complete sense because we didn't put any points into training. We didn't have enough points to do so. So we're going to head on to the next step. Here we have cutting players. Now, we got a total of 59 guys. That's pretty cool. The problem is they added some walk-ons into the program. For example, here's a walk-on, Zack Fisher, and I can't cut him either. Cutting a player we put in below, we can't even do it. Well, we can't even do it anyways. Stuff like that. The fullback, they put a true freshman there. He's a walk-on. We don't have to worry about that because we never use a fullback. Wide receiver, I wonder where else they put him at. Tight end, we got a ton of guys here. I should have moved one of those guys over to fullback. I forgot to do that, but that's okay. I think we're going to be fine regardless. Tackle, I'm just looking to see. Center, they probably put one somewhere maybe. I don't think they did. Defensive tackle, they didn't. They got a minimum of 2. Nice. Middle linebacker, here's one. A senior. No, this kid right here, Jeff Johnson, 48. Look at his speed, 68. That's not terrible. Corner, we got plenty of options there. I won't have to recruit any of those for a while, but this worries me. I have to keep a minimum of 5 corners for the 3-3-5. That makes no sense. I think that's a glitch. Whoa, free safety. Why do they put 18 guys on here? That is not right whatsoever. Wow, why did they do that? That's so weird. They put like 3 guys on here. That makes no sense why they did that. Okay, we'll deal with it. And here is a senior. Maybe this is the guy, Kyle Shaw. One of these guys is a walk-on. I don't remember which. We got a kicker and we got a punter. So we're up to 59. A whole lot better than what was it last year. What, 48? So we'll take it. All right, on to the next step. This is the last step. We're going to just look at the roster in general. Now, we got a much better group of players in. Of course, Matt Flynn, he's a transfer. We'll talk about that later and how I decide I'm going to handle the transfers. But Lovelady, he's still an impact player. And that is it for the quarterbacks in terms of just speaking about any of it. Alex Johnson, look at his number, 49. That's an interesting number for halfback. I think I'll leave it as is. I think that's kind of interesting. Then we got James Johnson. Here's a true freshman. I think he's a walk-on at number 24. Fullback, that's a walk-on. Then we got wide receiver. Here's the Gatewood kid, number 1. Good for him. I'm glad he took that number. Jonathan Jean, awesome. A wide receiver, took a cool number, 19. Cool. Really good deal. I like that. Next up, Isaac Conant. Look at that. Number 14. Another good one by the athlete that we picked up. And the rest of these guys were already on the roster. So our wide receiver group is looking a whole lot better all of a sudden. Tight end, there is Dustin Allen. Number 40. Another goofy tight end number, and I love it. Cool to see that. But these guys were already on the team. Tackles, we got just the same old guys over and over again. Of course, we got a couple of new guys in here. But they get typical numbers. The guards as well, 79, 76 for these 2 true freshmen who are going to start. True freshman Tariq Dukes is going to start for us. Defensive end, Chris Smith, he's the transfer. We got true freshman and Matt Barnes is going to start for us. Defensive tackle, we're down to 2 minimum. We got 1 true freshman that's going to start. Linebacker, this is worrisome, and I forgot to switch one of these guys to left. That's okay. That's not that big of a deal. But he's a true freshman. He's a walk-on going to start for us. That makes no sense, but it is what it is. Middle linebacker, this is an issue. Jeff Johnson, I guess, is going to start for us because he's got the speed at least. Corner, this whole thing really worries me. I don't know. I don't understand why they're handling cornerbacks like they are. That doesn't make sense, but we got a transfer that either will play next year or he won't. Then we got Stephen Pauly, the freshman. He was going to play quite a bit. Then we got free safety, Darian Williams, the transfer. Then we got Brandon Edwards, true freshman. He's going to start for us unless I figure out what to do with that guy. Strong safety. Now, this is interesting. They put some random impact status on Kyle Shaw. I don't know why. He's not even going to start. So we got to wait for the second half of the season for that thing to get put on somebody else. But you can better believe it. Bobby Lewis is going to start, and he's at number 25. We got a kicker, and we got a punter. So the other impact guys, of course, Jeremy Matthews. So that is it. Next video, we're going to do the preseason video. We'll go through all that, and hopefully we can have a much more enjoyable second season. I want to play every game. I'm tired of simulating that stuff. I hate it. It's no fun, but I understand why we needed to do that in the first season. So now we can progress, move on, and have some more fun going forward. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.